So if you got the funds, you can invest in a cold room. But what I always advise, first do a trial project to see how it goes through before you actually invest in a cold room. Because cold rooms, they don't also come cheap, right? So it wasn't like just to do a trial project just to see how is it gonna go. Then you also understand what is conducive for mushroom, what is not. But one thing we have noticed so far is that it needs conducive weather. It doesn't need to be very cold, it doesn't need to be very hot, and the place needs to be a bit humid. So that's why we ended up like putting some irrigation pipes where we just like water. We usually, if it's too hot, we usually water like 3 times a day. Then at least it becomes a bit humid. So the second thing, after you prepare your room, the second thing now, you need to get you can either use grass, our normal grass, you know, the one where you can actually go get it for free, or you can get your cotton hides, or you can use cotton hides. If you look for places where they sell like animal feed, they usually sell that cotton hides or your grass, you can get it there. So you just, with us, we decided to go organic. We don't put any chemicals in it, but I know there are other places where they do the mushrooms and they put chemicals in it. So when you get your grass, you need to boil it so that you disinfect the grass, and you also like remove everything which was in the grass, because remember, grass is just everywhere and it might not be like very conducive for your mushrooms when you start growing them, right? So we usually boil them 2 days before we start we start planting our mushrooms. So you boil them, then you put them in you put that grass in black plastics, right? You lift the black, you kind of like open your black plastics so that the water drips out, so that it won't be too watery when you start putting them in your bags. Other people, they use buckets, but with us, we tried the buckets route when but the yield wasn't that much for us, so we decided to use clear plastics. So okay, I forgot this. On your preparation room, you need also to put some hooks on top of your room where you're going to be using the, because you're going to be hooking your bags on the roof, right? So it's all part of when you do your preparation. So it depends what you want to do. If you want to use buckets, you just decide how you're going to put your buckets in, or if you want to put the plastics, you need somewhere where you're going to be hanging them. So now that is the second process. 1, prepare your room. 2, now you need to prepare what you're going to be using to do your mushrooms, like boiling your grass. Then the third one, now you need your seed, which is used for mushrooms. You can find any places where they sell it, whatever. It comes, it looks like it's whitish, like it's like a fungi. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like a fungi kind of. So here's what you'll be doing when you're now starting to do your mushrooms. When you're planting, it's not like really planting, because you don't put them in the ground, kind of. So you put you take your plastics, then just make sure that your hands are clean, and also disinfect your hands, right? Then you put your layer of your grass, then you put your mushroom. I'm forgetting the name of that white thing. Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of it, but if I remember it, I'll just put it on the description. Then you put your mushroom, then you'll be just putting layers, then layers of it. Then when you're done, you tie your bag, then you start hanging your bags on top. You start hanging your bags on the hooks which you've prepared in your room. So basically that is the preparation part of the mushroom. That's how you just do your mushrooms. So you just leave you leave them. So for the first 2 weeks, the room needs to be dark, because they do well in a darker place. And the place you need to maintain your temperature to at least 18 to 20 degrees, kind of 18 to 21 degrees. That's why you need to maintain your temperature to be 8. So for the first 2 weeks, you leave them like that. With us, we usually kind of go and check maybe if they're all like spreading well, and if there's nothing which is infected, because other people, they prefer that you leave them for the 2 weeks without even going in that room. But the danger of doing that is that if one bag get infected, it's going to infect all the bags. So with us, we always check every day, how are they doing, is there no bag which is infected, and if you notice that there's a bag which is infected, we quickly remove it so that it doesn't infect other bags. So that's it. Then after 2 weeks, you start seeing that the whole bag now will start beginning to be white. This shows that the word which I was saying that I forgot, it's called spawn. That's your mushroom seed. It's called spawn. So the spawn will start spreading throughout the bag. You see all your bag will become white, like a cloud. So it will become whitish, and that shows that the spawn is spreading through and it's going through well. So after that, you can now start cutting your bags so that when it's time for it to start growing out, it has a way to grow out. So you can just make some, wherever you're seeing the whites, you can just like cut within, you can disinfect a razor or a knife, whatever you can use, but just make sure that it's disinfected. Then you cut through so that it has a space to go through. So if you're lucky, from 3 to 4 weeks, your mushrooms will start coming out. So it's just an easy project. Like it doesn't take much time. So like from your, it should take 4 to 6 weeks for it to start, like for you to start harvesting your first harvest. So you see, it's a low cost initiative, it's less manpower, and it's quicker for you to start harvesting. So yeah, now let's go to the, I told you the preparation of how you do your prep everything, but now let's also talk cost wise. So your bag of spawn, you can, your bag of spawn, you can get it for 450 rand. There's this place where it's sold in South Africa, in Centurion. So the smallest bag where you can, in that bag of spawn, you can make about 20 bags. Then if you choose to use grass, you can get it for free. You just have to go out there and start looking for the grass and buy it. But if you choose to use the cotton hides, like your 10 kg of cotton hides, I think you get it for 200 rand, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, like if you want to start on just to give a trial, maybe you can just put maybe 1,000 rand for a start and see how it goes. I added like the other 400 rand for you, maybe to buy the black plates, to prepare your room, the irrigation thing and everything, and the other stuff you should need. And maybe if you are going to be getting someone to assist you with the preparation of it. But this is a low cost project which we can actually try. And okay, let's talk of the numbers maybe when you start harvesting. So usually if the weather conditions are good, you can harvest your mushrooms like 4 times. So the first time is maybe after 4 to 6 weeks. So depending how the weather, how your room is, how humid it is, like if it's like if the humid is good and the weather is good for the mushrooms to be growing, your first harvest, you should be harvesting at least 5 kg on each bag. So you can just do the calculations, like if you say your 5 kg times the 20 bags you have put. So it depends how much you want to be selling your mushrooms. You can just do your research, how people are selling them. But to be honest, mushrooms, you don't really make losses, but you just need to ensure that your room is very conducive. Be very careful on that your room is very conducive. If your room is conducive, you are good that you'll be making money. And the good part about it, that you can harvest 4 to 5 times. And if you want to go big, then you can just put them like on different stages, so that at each and every point you'll be having your mushrooms. With us also, it comes as a good thing because we love mushrooms. So instead of us going to buy mushrooms, we are also saving money because we just get them from our garden, and we are saving money on that. So this is another project which you can add if you're struggling where to start in these hard times. Guys, I always advise the people that, okay, let's not go to borrow money. With the little money you have, please start something. I also gave you something you can start, another stream of income you can start, so that you don't have to go borrow money. But if you want more lessons on how you can manage your finances, we do one-on-one coaching, and we also do group sessions where you can do on how you can manage your money, or how you can start other low capital businesses. Be sure to check on our website, or you can send me an email. My email address, I'll put it down here on the description, so that you at least you don't have stress on your own in these trying times. I know things are not well, but we are here to help you so that you can be able to work with your money much better. Till we meet again.